Mindy, I'm gonna start out with you.
All right.
Okay, and you're gonna remember the timeline better than me, but
Uh-huh.
um, kind of run me through why you transferred from Mark Morris to Ari Long and like what years it was and all that.
All right. So, well, my freshman year at Mark Morris, I got cut. So then I was like, pretty much like, damn.
I
Screw.
got when you got cut. I do have a question about that. What
Yeah.
should you have got cut, or were you good enough to make the team?
I mean, skill wise, yeah, I was like good enough, but I probably just like, I wasn't in shape. So like that was like a big thing, and that was a big thing Coach B always told me. So that was probably like the deciding factor. But at the time, like, I was mad because like obviously like I knew I was good enough to play, and I had been playing with those guys my entire life. So it was really weird. It was like a shock for sure. And then sophomore year, I came back, made the team, the C team, as a sophomore, and then I actually got kicked off like halfway through. Just I got super sick, and then I got bad grades, and I was just not doing what I was supposed to be doing. So during that time, like after that, my sophomore the season, uh, I started hanging out with Payton a little bit, and I went to open gym at R Long. Started going to R Long open gyms, and then you're like, bro, why don't you just transfer? That's when you asked me, and I was like,
Me or Peyton?
so you're like,
Oh,
like, why wouldn't you? And I was like, yeah, you're right. And Peyton's like, yeah, bro, you might as well do it. So then it just basically that was just like it, like, and I was like, it just happened.
And then I beat him in 2K for the
Yeah, yeah,
deciding
that
factor.
was like that was just
Y'all play 2K,
hey,
bro?
bro, but on God, like I don't even play 2K, bro. So like,
I waxed him up and down the court, man. It
yeah,
was
like
ugly.
I don't even play video games.
I knew he was transferring before.
Yeah,
you were set up to fail for that game.
yeah, I was. It was a loss.
What what are some big like differences between Mark Morris and Ari Long?
Um, just like kind of like their I would say the culture. Not that Mark Morris doesn't have a culture because their like they have a strong culture, but it's just different than what Ari Long is. Uh, there's like a really Ari Long is really more welcoming, like, and there's people that like not everyone is like a certain way. Like I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. But at Mark Morris, just if you don't fit in right away, like you're probably gonna have a tougher time over there than if you went to R Long. Like the R Long is just like everyone all together. Like you went there, so you know how it is.
Yeah, but I don't know the Mark Morris side, so
Yeah,
I think it's unique that you have both perspectives.
yeah. The Mark Morris is like if you have like a solid group, like if you're an athlete or like if you're a cool popular person, like whatever, like you'll
You a
do.
cool kid?
Nah, I wasn't cool. I wasn't cool though. But it was I hung out with a lot of older people when I was at Mark Morris though. Like I hung out with like Hayden. That's when I like really became good friends with Hayden. And yeah, that's when
Hayden Tilton.
yeah, Hayden Tilton.
We're gonna kind of bounce back and forth, go from asking you questions and Zach. We got stuff for both of you.
Yeah, so for Zach, first question for you is like going from kind of like this. Explain like the difference from going from obviously Morton, a small town, to Seattle to start out with, or and then going to Philly, and just kind of like your dislikes, likes. Like you like the small town kind of secluded and whatnot, or you like the bright city and that kind of life. And what was your daily life over in Philly when you went transferred Drexel?
Yeah. I like the city a lot more. I mean, it's cool here. My family's here and everything, but out there in the city, I like more things around me. Have more options to do some things out here. In Morton, there's not really a lot of whole things to do.
Yeah.
In Seattle, but Philly's a bigger city than Seattle, and we're kind of like right in downtown area as well. So like I'm right in the mix of everything.
You mean the spot?
Yeah, be in the spot. Just chilling though. It's cool though. I like it a lot. But in Philly, my day normally looks like just. It depends. What time is it? The season time, or are we in the off season?
You can get both. Go
Yes,
both.
I guess it's the same for both, really, kind of. Wake up in the morning, got weights early in the morning at like 7,
Mm.
8, one of the times, depends on the classes, and then go to class until 3, and then practice at 3 to 5, 5:30, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I just go home, play video games, do my homework.
Yeah. So that kind of like leads me to my next question is like, so what's the difference between going from JUCO to the Division One?
So obviously it's a lot more physical too. That was the thing when I first got there, because when I was in JUCO, I was always like one of the times the biggest dudes on the court.
Yeah.
And over here in Division One, I'm playing against a lot of guys that are a lot bigger than me or the same size as me. So there's some things I couldn't do as I could do before.
Right.
But I'd say physicality is probably the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Is it a big jump talent wise, like skill wise?
From JUCO, yeah, it is obviously. Yeah, they're Division One players. I think it is that at every position it's a lot more talented, because at JUCO you play some teams, like each team probably gonna have a guy that's pretty good, can play at a high level. But here, it's every single player on the court, they're all good in their own ways and can do something.
Have you lived in Morton your whole life?
No, I moved here when I was in 5th grade.
Where were you before?
Oregon, Klamath Falls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Mindy, back to you. You're on the hot seat.
Here we go.
A lot of kids, I think, in your shoes getting cut and then being on C squad their sophomore year would have just like gave up altogether on basketball. Like, what made you not like basically give up on the sport?
I don't know. Like, I just loved it since I was little. So like, that's just the thing that always kept me going. I just like knew that I wanted to do basketball. Like, it was really basketball and baseball with me for real. Like when I was little, like I was probably like my dad always like said like I was better at baseball than basketball or whatever. But like when it got down to it, like I just liked basketball more. I just liked the culture, just like the guys that I was around more. And then so I just didn't want to be the guy that didn't get to play anymore. So I just did whatever I could to get myself back into the spot I was.
Did you get kind of like re-inspired when you switched schools?
Yeah, for sure. Just because of the fact that there was like people around me within the basketball program that believed that like I could play, that like I actually could like help the program, like be a benefit. And like to be honest, like my class at Mark Morris, like Grant, Evan, Spencer, Jordy, like all of them, like they all had their roles defined early, and I was just kind of like left behind essentially. So when I got to RA Long, like there was a role for me to play, like there was for me to be involved, for me to do things, and yeah, it was cool too because like as soon as I got there, I got to play for you for half the time, so. And then that was fun. Like, that was rewarding too. Like right when I got to RA Long, like I went from not being on a team at all to playing varsity, so like, and some JV too. So like, it was cool. Just that was like, it wasn't like the ultimate reward, but it was like a good like halfway point.
Mm-hmm. It had to have been kind of like a, like the support system you were talking about, like big just confidence boost, and could like bring your game up even up a little bit higher than it was, just because of that confidence and support that you're getting.
Like, just like, I mean, how we all know how it is. Like, if there's somebody that's on the court that knows that you can play and like believes in you that you can play and like is feeding you confidence, like it's a lot easier than having to like prove yourself every time you touch the ball.
One more question before we get back to Zach, before I forget, Ian. You said you were kind of like out of shape, and that was one of the reasons that you got cut your sophomore year. Did that switch when you went to RA Long? Did you start getting in shape, and like what were you doing that changed?
Well, I mean, I just started like putting a focus into it, like because when I was younger, like I was like, because we were a little young, like I was the best player, like I was just better than everyone. I was just could run around, pass, dribble, shoot, whatever. But then everyone else like got better, grew, and I kind of like just got fatter. Like that's what happened. Like, I didn't like get any better. Like my skills were like they caught up to me, and I was just out of shape. So like. I just focused on like what I ate. Like that was like a big thing that I know that we talked about right when I first like came and started at Roots. Just like not even like paying attention, not even changing what you're eating, but just like having like a mindfulness about what you put inside your body. That was a big thing. And then just playing as much basketball as possible, like to get in shape, because I'm not the guy that wants to just run. You know what I mean? But like if we can hoop up and down, I'm with that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right, you're off the hot seat, Ian. Do you want me to hit Zach with mine, or do you want to go?
I got one for him, and then you can ask him.
Okay.
So what was kind of like like a motivation factor for you growing up, like Was it like what kind of like? Obviously, you had a love for basketball, but like, so you're coming from a small school, you know. Okay, you won Player of the Year, you won 2 state championships, back-to-back undefeated seasons. Were you kind of like still searching, like even though you had those type of achievements, were you still kind of like out there with something to prove, and you know, kind of like along those lines?
Yeah, definitely kind of, because all the time, like when I be at AAU tournaments or anything like that, or little basketball showcases, people would just be like, "Yeah, he's good, but he just playing against small school teams. Like, you know, there's not a lot of good players out of there or anything." So every time I went and played against a bigger school or players with bigger names around here, like I'd always try to play my best, like show them
Right.
well, I can't play with everybody.
Yeah.
Zach, I was thinking the other day when me and Ian were texting, and he said he was with you. I was thinking back to the first time I met you. Do you remember where that was and when?
Yeah, the Roots Warehouse. It was like a late tryout though.
Yeah, exactly. It
I
was
remember this actually.
Going to the workout with it was just me and like 3 kids like way younger.
Hey, were they in like what, 6th grade or something like that? Something.
They were some kids.
Oh man, he walked in the doors, and for some reason I didn't really know who you were. I don't know how I didn't know, but you showed up, and I was supposed to be like keeping notes for Josh because he couldn't make it to the tryout, the makeup tryout, and there was like you said, there was like a bunch of little kids, and then you, and I'm like, oh well, this kid's tall, like let's see what he can do. And then you start doing the drills. I'm like, all right, he looks like he can handle it, shoot it, blah blah blah. But I'm like, I gotta see him play some one-on-one. So I started having you go up against these little kids.
No way.
And Zach was killing them. So I was like, okay, let me get like some high school kids that I know. So I remember Nate Solomon was sitting next to me, and I was like, Nate, go guard him. I had Pierce go guard you, and a couple other guys that were in the gym. And I remember calling Josh, and I was like, this kid, you might want to take a look at him, because Josh thought he had his team set. You guys had a really nice AU team, and he was like, oh, I'm not taking no more. I was like, I think this kid might be your best kid, though.
Yeah, like first practice, I think it was at Kelso. It was the first time I seen him, and yeah, he walked in the door. I was like, I didn't see him at tryouts, and I was like, okay, I don't know who this is. And then, yeah, I mean, first couple of practices, I mean, you could just tell he was different. Obviously, he was going to start for us, and we had a good team. Obviously, you know, he thought we was already set. By far the best player. Yeah,
I had these poor 6th grade kids trying to guard a D1 kid.
I walked in. The thing is, though, I thought like I didn't know they were that young. One of the kids was kind of bigger than the rest.
They might be a little bit older. I don't really remember.
Man, these are the kids I'm about to be playing with right now. I didn't know at all. So.
I was so confused. I was like, I don't know who this is. I don't know what he's doing here.
I was telling someone the other day though, I'm happy I went there to that though, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't even be here, because without the AAU guys, and I probably wouldn't have even went to Edmonds. They wouldn't have seen me in here, so it was cool.
So before Roots, because I remember you having a really good summer with us, and you just didn't have any, like, nobody really talking to you or anything like that, or just.
I got talked to by a couple of D1 schools. I didn't get no offers, but I had like some offers from a lot of NAIAs to Division 2 schools. And then I committed to after my senior year, I committed to Central Washington. And
right.
Like, a little bit before school was about to start, I was just like, I really don't even want to be out here kind of in Ellensburg. Too close to home. Also, I know I could play higher than this probably. So I called Coach Gray and Ron back up at Edmonds, and I was like,
"Oh, not cap, bro."
All right, Again, I was on the phone with him, and I was like, "Yo, ask Ron if it's cool. I still come back maybe." And then they called me, and we all started talking.
I got a couple of things to say. One,
the story, bro. Let's tell you my side, bro. No, that's cool. That's what happened.
Ian, why are you his agent? Why you've been his agent for 10 years?
Bro, the thing is like, that was like the joke when we were in high school. But listen, this is what happened. Zach takes me to Edmonds open gym. Like, I go there, like, I was in decent shape. I promise you, I shot the best I ever shot in my entire life. I probably missed 2 shots the whole open gym. They're like, yeah, come back to the next one, so whatever. I ended up going to Edmonds too. But then, like, after I told him I was going, like, 2 days later, Zach's like, oh, yeah, bro, I'm not going there. I'm like, bro, what? So then he went over there, but he came back. He knew where he was going the whole time.
How did you guys get connected to Edmonds?
I was at a little showcase thing in Kirkland for this little basketball camp, and
was it the Webka?
No, it was maybe it was like EVC or something like that.
I remember.
Okay.
I was here.
I don't know. But Coach Ron was there. He was just doing some recruiting. They let like a little bit of coaches in there, and he was watching. He just started talking to me, and then came out to. It was our game my senior year. First time he came and watched me play. We were playing Toledo at home at the very beginning of the season. That was like probably like my best game of the year too.
Right.
And yeah, he came, and after that they just kind of connected.
It's crazy that you almost went to Central because you would have been playing with Matt.
I know.
Which would have been wild again from Morton winning. Well, how did he play on any of the teams that won titles with you?
Yeah, he was a freshman my senior year.
Okay. What were the D1s that like were talking to you in high school a little bit but didn't offer?
There was like UC Davis, I
know. Should I ask your agent?
Airport, and there was one more small one. Maybe it was like Jacksonville State or something small like that. But no, they didn't really show full interest or offer me anything. They just talked to me here and there.
Were you a little bit frustrated? Because I mean, in high school, you're winning titles. You're doing everything you need to do on the court. You know, like, were you frustrated that you weren't getting the looks you maybe thought you deserved?
At first, I was just kind of like, damn, I don't know. But I don't know. After that, it was just like, all right, then I guess I'm just going to go do this. I'm going to take this route. I think I looked at a blessing in disguise, just a longer route. No problem with that. Just got it done.
What's your most memorable game? High school, college, kind of just, was it winning your state championships, or was it kind of like your best scoring game at Drexel or Edmonds? If you had, crazy stat line or.
I probably got like two that I really like. Obviously, my senior year state championship game.
Yeah,
a good one.
Side note: I flew to that game. It was lit.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
You're telling me, oh, Zach just punched on somebody.
Yeah. Well, wild, man.
34, 10, and 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
You guys killed him in that game, didn't you? Wasn't it a blowout?
Yeah. And then also, I remember a game at Edmonds. We were like fighting for playoff spot. We had a win down there at Whatcom, I think it was. And I had a great 30 and 5, something like that.
You hit the half quarter.
Yeah, and hit a half quarter.
Mm.
For game too. It was for game.
I remember going to
that was cool.
The district championship against Toledo, Grant and Brent. And that was one of the craziest games I've actually probably seen in high school. To be honest, that was crazy. Then, what was your feeling like when you fouled out? I remember you fouled out. I think it was in overtime. Was it the start of overtime or something like that?
It was in regulation.
Regulation. Okay.
We were up 1. It wasn't a foul.
It wasn't a foul.
I ain't gonna lie, but they called a foul on me, and then I went to the bench, fouled out with like 2 seconds left, and he went to the free throw line.
Who went?
Grant.
Oh yeah.
Grant went to the free throw line.
He's gonna tweet it.
Free throw. I know that's gonna haunt him.
And the crazy part about it is he said that you guys. I remember playing AAU and Roots with you guys, and then he was saying the whole season basically like, you guys are gonna beat us in the regular season, and we're gonna get you in the district championship. That's the craziest thing, because when I was watching that was all I could think about, when he was at the line to literally seal the game with those free throws, and then he missed I think it was the first one or something like that.
Yeah. No, not first. He made the first.
Made the first, yeah, and then would have won it with the second. That was crazy.
Yo, Ian.
Yeah.
You're like I'm picturing you as a sophomore. I'm taking you back because I want to get to Edmonds, but I want to start there.
Yeah.
When you got cut your sophomore year, did you ever in a million years think that you'd be playing college ball 3 years later?
No, I thought it was a wrap, like right then and there. Like, and the thing is that wasn't okay. This is what happened. So I got kicked off the basketball team. So then like I was immediately like, all right, my basketball career is over, like whatever. But then like when I said I had like I flipped the switch. Like I was like, all right, I'm just gonna be a baseball player. Like I'm better at baseball anyway. Like whatever. But then 2 months later, 3 months later, we had baseball tryouts. I got cut. I was like, oh yeah, bro, my sports is over, bro. I literally remember just looking at I was on Twitter, like just scrolling through my timeline, just looking like, damn, like sports doesn't even mean anything to me anymore. I'm done for sure. So then go from there to play college basketball 2 years later or 3 years later, like it's a pretty quick turnaround. And I didn't think I would be there, but I just got myself in the right spot, surrounded myself with the right people, and got there.
How did you get connected? Like was it through like you being around Zach and Zach ended up out there because of that showcase or?
Well, what happened was, I remember trying out for that same AAU team my junior year, and at tryouts you were like, do you want to play AAU or do you just like want to work out? And you were like, you play enough basketball, you probably should just do some skill stuff. Like you're at that point, and I was like, I trusted you. I was like, all right, yeah, cool, whatever. So that's when my junior year I didn't play AAU at all. So I just did skill stuff all summer. And then my senior year, I was like, seniors don't play AAU. So, like, this is weird. But Zach was like, bro, I'm playing AAU for Elite 24. Come try out. So I went, try out, made the team. And then we had our whole Elite 24 circuit. And
real good AAU team, too.
Yeah.
Real good.
We were tough. Yeah. They had, like, I mean, it was full of D1 dudes. Like, all D1 dudes. And then there was me. So it was cool though. But
and that's how you got the look from that team?
No, like how I got like to Edmonds was I just went to the open gym with Zach. Like I talked to him at the showcase with Zach, like just because I was there. But once I went to that open gym, that was like my opportunity, my little window. And it happened to be that Coach Gray, the head coach, was there that day. And I played on the main court like the whole day. And I just remember making shots after shot after shot. And he talked to me after that and was like, yeah, come back to the next one. And then the rest is history.
It's a crazy jump from, where you were freshman, sophomore year to that.
Yeah.
Do you think, do you give credit to Backamus for, maybe giving you the truth? And
well, of course, I love Coach B. I still see him today. I'll be at camp.
Real one.
I'll be at camp. You gonna be there, Kennedy?
What's up?
You gonna be at camp?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we have camp, who knows?
Yeah, if we get a camp, I'll be there. But no, I think Coach B, he probably did more for me than most of my high school coaches did. Like just because he knew I could play. He knew it, but there wasn't a spot for me there. So it was a blessing in disguise at the time. Like I was mad. Like I was like, I don't even like this guy no more. Like whatever. Like, but no, now it's all love. Like I love him for it.
Mm-hmm.
It probably pushed you just that much harder,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, it's like you said, blessing in disguise. I think it really made you the feel your potential out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it was fun. I just wish I got to play a little bit more in that Civil War game because when I started talking to the crowd, Wally took me out. But
we had some crazy ones.
What was your guys' time like at Edmonds?
Go ahead, bro.
No, it was cool. I enjoyed it a lot. It was probably
you guys lived together?
Twice.
Yeah, we did twice. Like 1.5, because he was wiped up at his girl's place. He was living somewhere else. It was cool. It was probably some of the best times of my life. I enjoyed it a lot. I still talk to all those people all the time. Still to this day, hang out with them all the time.
Same.
Go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, same for me. That's where we just were. We were just at I mean, you remember Pay? I brought him to work out one time at Roots.
Yeah, super bounce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not no more, huh?
Not no more.
He's about that dad life.
Yeah. But no, like those guys, like those are just like our brothers. Like we went through the I mean Peyton knows like the JUCO route. Like it's tough.
Well, Payton was there at Edwards for 1 year too.
Yeah, Peyton knows what it was like. He knows like.
Oh yeah, good time.
For sure. Like there was months where I was like looking at my mom, like, dude, like I don't know how I'm gonna pay the rent this month. Like I'm gonna just have to come home. Like, but I'm just grateful for them to always made a way for me to be able to stay there and do what I'd like to do, play basketball and go to school and not have to work. So it was I loved my time at Edmonds, even though it had ups and downs though. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Peyton, you can talk to this too, but I didn't go the JUCO route, but I always hear that like everyone that went the JUCO route, they get connected like super tight. Yeah. What is it about JUCO? Is it because it's such a grind or?
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk to it?
I mean, yeah, probably such a grind. Also, that too. Everyone's trying to achieve the same goal. We're not like I know the JUCO I went to. We don't live on campus. We live off campus. We got like pay your own rent stuff, so everyone's like more connected in a real life way as well for like the bills and everything too. Like you're really out there living with people for real. So that's another thing, but I don't know. I really don't know. I can't even tell you why it's just different like that, but
it's a different type of brotherhood. Like, you guys are all kind of, it's like we're all figuring it out at the same, like adult life kind of in a way at the same time. And it's like, we don't know what we're doing. Like,
the mix is so different too, bro.
So you're going through all those memories with all of them, everything.
Cause like, we got the Edmonds. Me and Zach are 18, 19. We got a dude that's 26 on the team.
Yeah, that's another thing too. We're with a lot older people.
So we're like, whoa! Yeah. Like, we just went from being the top, especially Zach. Like he just went from being the man to now we're like the young guys.
Mm-hmm. What was the team nice? Were you guys good?
Yeah, my freshman year, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like we should have won out of my 3 years there. That's the best overall skilled team. Like our leading scorer didn't even start at all. probably the best. Might have been one of the best players in the league, not the best.
Yeah.
Were you? Why'd you go 3 years? Were you hurt one year?
Yeah, I hurt my knee. Had to get surgery like 5 games in.
Your sophomore year, or would have been your sophomore year?
Yeah, I was off to a good start, but also it's not a good thing. It's like again another blessing in disguise because we weren't that good that year.
Oh, that's crazy, bro.
Also, but the next year, because if you want to get noticed by a lot of people, you gotta win some games as well. And it gave me another year to also learn the game more and watch from the side instead of being on the court, so I could learn some new things that way, see the game from a different angle. And that next year, we had a chance to be on a really good team as well, make the playoffs.
I remember that year vividly. I remember the game that Zach got hurt. It happened within the first 8 seconds of the game. It was my first college start. I remember we all was hyped, like, all right, Zach, we're gonna kill these dudes. Like, it was a game we needed to win, and we got the tip. I got the ball, pass it to Zach on the break. He goes Euros, gets hurt, and I'm riding back on defense. He's on the ground still. I'm like, oh my gosh, no way. So then they get him off. Next position, down. I hit a 3-pointer, and they called a timeout. And then Zach was still just back there, and he was like, I'm done. And I just remember right then I was like, damn, just because this was what, it would have been just cool to play alongside him during that time.
It would hurt too. I tried to play the next game that we had.
But I was
like, no, I can't do it. I said, no, I'm done.
It was
what was it? What injury was it?
I just broke off some cartilage in my knee, so they had to go in there and take it out. Let the blood fill up. But yeah, I don't know. It was a long recovery too.
So Ian, you hooped the rest of the year while Zach was recovering.
Oh man, the longest year of my life.
You guys were bad, or is that why?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say that, but we weren't the best team. But
why was it the longest year of your life then?
Because we didn't win the games we were supposed to win. I didn't. Yeah, we didn't win games. And that's just so frustrating. And like that was my second year there because the first year there when I got there I redshirted because the team was good. I wasn't gonna play at all, so I was like, I'm a redshirt. So that was my first year playing, and I had been there for a year, so I knew everything. Like I knew every play, I knew every spot at every play. Like I knew everything. And then we get to the game and we're halfway through the season, and we're in the league play, and the freshmen don't even know the plays still. Like, well, I'm calling the play on the wing, and the coach is behind me talking about Ian. They don't know it. Just do something else. Like that's just so frustrating for me, just because it felt like some of us cared just more than others, and like I don't know. Even Zach, he was there the whole year. Don't let him fool you. He was just watching.
Me and Ray, he had a redshirt. He transferred in, so it'd be in film. We just go work out in the weight room or something the whole time.
Can't watch that film. That was horrible.
Film sessions used to get brutal
because it's the same thing over and over and over.
So what's the so you're Ian, you're part of Game Winner Basketball.
Yep.
And that's like
yeah.
So just kind of explain like your next move in the basketball world.
Man. Well, the Game Winner thing is Kyle's program. He founded it. It's through his foundation. Game Winner is an acronym: goals, attitude, motivation, expectation.
Yep.
Kind of like a life skills program. That's the way he explains it. It's really cool, man. But I mean, right now we're in the same predicament that everybody else is. Like we had 2 teams picked, ready to go. We had tryouts, really successful tryout. There's a video of it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a great one. Yeah, man, the kids were loving it. They were on board with it. Me and Kyle were all the way into it. But just, the Rona got it right now.
Yeah, you guys had a good team, too.
We were solid. We had a lot of guys. It was funny because a few, like probably the 3 or 4 top kids, when we first had to reach out to them, they were like, "Oh, I'll play for this team or whatever." I mean, Kyle was like, "Oh, all right, bro, like, bet it's fine." It's
right.
But then they ended up like being at tryouts and like wanting to be a part of it. So it was like, oh,
all right. And then also you're training Craig as well, right?
Yeah, we do the Game Winner. We train Craig Randall, draft prospect coming up, which is Kyle's brother. Everybody knows. For everybody that doesn't know that. Yeah, man, that's been a really fun process to be a part of. It's a really tough grind. 5 a.m.s every day until they wouldn't let us in the gym anymore. It's everyone says they want to do it, but to get up and put in the work that early and then come back, 2 more times throughout the day, it's a different level. And I know, like just seeing the commitment to that and just being around that environment with Kyle, like Kyle knows what it takes to get there. He's been there, so. This has really been a cool experience for me, and I'm just blessed to be there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What's I've never seen him play. I've seen a few clips just on like Instagram and stuff. Like, what's his game like, and what is he hearing as far as like possibilities for pro futures?
Yeah, the NBA is real for Craig. He has a real chance to play the NBA. His game to me, just from I've never seen him play in like a collegiate game in person, but I've seen a bunch of clips and I've seen him play in the Zeke-in and things like that. And Zach's seen him play. Zach played with them. They go out all the time. He can talk to this too. He's really long, super athletic, and can shoot.
He's like what, 6'4"?
He's like 6'5", probably.
Yeah.
6'5", lefty.
Yeah.
Yeah, smooth, real
really
smooth.
Can handle the ball, and he likes to play defense. So that's where they'll get him for the 3-and-D type thing. Who just happens to be crazy athletic. He played in the same conference as Ja, and they played against each other. And, I mean, they were both really athletic. Like that's
dude's a bucket.
Yeah, but he's a basket.
Is Kyle's super connected as far as he played in the G League. He knows a ton of people. Is he getting feedback on his brother? Is Craig getting feedback? Like, are they telling him like, hey?
Yeah, I mean they are. I mean, it's not really my business to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess like let's say he goes undrafted. You know, like is he gonna go? Is he thinking G League route or is he thinking overseas?
It'll probably be a G League route for him because I think the possibility. I think he has to me, he's like has a good possibility of getting drafted, like a great one. Yeah,
because he's if I remember right from what you're telling me before, was he kills his workouts.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's a really good in workout. You know how some people are good in workout, Scott, and not so good in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of somebody
Mm-hmm.
But, he's not that. Like he kills in his workouts, and the thing is to watch Craig do workouts and then go see him put it in like in live action is like just the same thing. There's just someone standing in front of him now, so that's really cool to watch it translate because it's a direct for him.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch him, and that process is cool. Just like watching you guys like post your stuff with his workouts.
Yeah.
What
fun too? Like ball comes right out of the hoop and you just pass.
Yeah. Those are the best people to work out.
Yeah, I don't mind working out Zach and Craig. It's cool.
Is your goal to continue going down the coaching? Like, what's your dream job?
My dream job would be like player management. That would be like my dream job at like the NBA level, obviously. But I mean, it's tough to get there.
Yeah. Player management, you mean like being like a trainer?
Yeah.
Like a skills trainer type guy?
But like it's kind of I've probably like in more of like an agent type though, just kind of like manage like different players and like, just help them like throughout on their day to day and like make sure they're, just have their stuff in line with like their sponsorships and things like that. Like
okay.
Kind of like a young Rich Paul.
Yeah. RP. But skills training, like that's my thing. Like I like that more than being like I like being on the bench and coaching a whole team, but I like just to being able to like work out whoever. And like, WIA, so many rules, like I can't talk to this kid because he goes to Castle Rock. Come on. So I just like being available to everybody and being able to go wherever because I like when we can leave. Like I like to travel and like do this thing like wherever I can go. So I don't want to be tied down to one location and like fully committed to something where I can just bounce back and forth.
Zach, when you were finishing up at Edmonds, was Drexel like the only school that was hitting you up, or just your favorite school? Was there other schools in the mix?
Nah, so what was it? I think Cal Poly hit me up during the season. They didn't really continue too much, so we just started talking a little bit. Then it's still like a lot of D2s and NAIAs, but then towards the end of the season, towards the playoffs and stuff, I started getting more calls. Idaho, I went out to a visit at Idaho actually. They wanted me. Drexel was the first one I went to. When I went out there, I loved it. I liked it a lot out there. I liked everything about it. And so I kind of knew like I'm probably gonna go here. Then I went on my visit to Idaho, and then Fresno State, another school. They called me late. The coach was getting what I wonder what happened. I can't really remember. But I think they were getting a new coach, and I couldn't come out for a visit on time. And I didn't want to waste no opportunity or anything. And I was like, I like Drexel a lot, and I just didn't talk to them no more. I just committed to Drexel.
Jumped on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a huge change going from Morton, Washington to Philly.
Yeah.
What was it? I mean, was it like a culture shock when you?
No, not really, because I was already kind of living in the Seattle area for.
Oh yeah, so you went big city.
Yeah. So I mean, probably definitely if I went straight from Morton to Philadelphia, then that would have been a way big difference, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that'd be a tough transition going from, well, not only like high school to college when you're on your own for the most part, but like just even being across the country, like from all your family, your friends. I mean, yeah, that'd be a tough transition.
How do you think you did out there basketball wise?
I did all right. I think I did all right this season. There's certainly a lot of things I could have done better. Had probably worst shooting season of my career, but other than that, I mean, I think I did other things well. I did a lot of good things as well, and I actually have another year because I broke my wrist and couldn't play last year. And so I have a chance to come back this next year and get my master's degree while also playing a grad year there as well.
Wow. So you're gonna be hooping at Drexel this year,
Yeah.
or this upcoming year.
Yeah.
That's
I've
dope.
1 year. This is my only year playing really, so I'll be able to get 2 years of Division I basketball and also get my master's at the same time. So,
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, that'll just, I mean, draft stock wise and everything, or getting even more notice for overseas looks, G League, whatever it is, that extra year is going to help your game quite a bit. Just more IQ, skill level building. It'll be good for you.
What's do you want to hoop for as long as you can, or what's your
yeah, that's the goal. I'm gonna try to play at the highest level I can. Obviously, I want to play in the league, but I'm open to all options as well. But right now, that's my focus, just to get to the highest level I can. So I'm just gonna play every day, work out every day, and just try to be the best I can. So give myself the best opportunity to do that.
what do you think what do you think you need to work on to get to the league?
Ball handling for sure. I'm a wing player as well. I've become a better ball handler. I know, better shooter, shoot with more range, and finishes down there as well around bigger dudes. I have some different type of finishes to my game. Yeah, other than that, I think that's probably it. Everything else will just kind of all come together.
Do you have you ever do guys come out to Drexel and hoop that are in the league, or do you ever have the chance to test against league dudes?
I mean, we have a lot of old alumni players that come back and that are playing currently overseas and professionally and stuff that come back and play with us in open gyms and stuff. Or if a player's in town from somewhere, he'll come and play with us sometimes in the summer. But other than that, no. NBA teams also be there to work out and stuff when they're about to play the Sixers. We don't ever play with them really, but we get to watch them.
Yeah.
Watch them and see how they practice and what their routines look like and what they do to get ready. So that's pretty cool.
And now he gets to go against Craig.
What'd you say, Ian?
Now he gets to go against Craig. Now they're both home. So it's good for both of them. Because Craig's not gonna find long people probably that can play at his level, and Zach can. So it's cool to just see them go at it. I was really excited to watch them work out together until the virus came about and kicked us out the gym. But as soon as we get back in there, it'll be fun.
Who wins that one-on-one matchup?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy. All right, you talking about
no,
crazy?
we ain't play one. We always play threes, and he got Kyle on his team. We're gonna call it out. It's Kyle, he on the team. There's a mismatch somewhere, so they gonna win.
It always comes down to Kyle, to be honest. Whoever Kyle's team, he probably gonna win.
What
We got one. If he's watching this, we play ones. He's not winning.
Oh yeah, he's watching this for sure.
Yeah. If they did play ones though, what does Zach have over Craig, and what does Craig have over Zach?
Zach's bigger, so he's more he's probably a little bit more physical than Craig. Watch this, he's not like that. But that's probably And then for Craig's quick. He's smooth and quick, and so that's probably where. And he can shoot, so that's the thing. Zach's got to scoot up. So that's where Craig will be able to win. And if Zach plays like he normally does, then he'll probably win. It'll be a close game. I'm gonna say that.
So you think if they played best of 10 games, it'd be a good run?
Yeah, no, that's a good bump for sure.
I think it'd be 8 out of 10 me.
Oh, whoa!
Zach, I obviously got to watch you a ton in high school, and I've seen clips of your college games. What do you think are your strengths? What does set you apart from other players? What are some of the things that are your go-tos?
I feel like what sets me apart is like I said, I'm a bigger guard, so I'm a bigger player. So you put a smaller guard on me, I'm gonna be able to take him to the post, and I have a little bit of post game as well. And so, but if you're gonna put someone bigger on me, I'll be able to. I'll be able to, just try to take them off the dribble. But yeah, I don't know. I like to dribble down, kind of just set them up, maybe a couple of dribbles between the legs, just get in rhythm a little bit, and just cross and go. I really just try more like a one move. I don't really try to hit a lot of combos or nothing.
Just efficient in that one move.
Yeah, just get to the cup.
Yeah. I think it's better. It's better to be.
I like pull up too.
I think it's better to be efficient in just one quick, kind of a quick move, and then being able just to dance on somebody. A lot of people be, dancing on somebody and don't get nowhere. So it's good to be just efficient, quick. Nothing. I mean, you don't have to be fancy or nothing.
They play you at the 3 at Drexel?
Yeah, I play the 3. Sometimes depending on situations and who we're playing at the time, I'll play the 4 towards the end of the game. Of course, we play small ball. But yeah, I'm the 3.
You 6'6", is that right?
Yeah. I could comment on that. I ain't on that team. They don't have very many bigs, so he has to go down there. Like, how tall is JB?
JB 6'9".
Yeah, that's their starting center.
He's good.
He's a big-time rebounder, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was leading the country in rebounds. I don't know. He finished top.
Man.
I don't know if he was one or not, but I know he.
It was like 17 a game or something crazy.
And double doubles.
You guys, do you guys think you'll be better next year? Like as far as a team, like do you guys return a lot?
Yeah, we got him back. Cam back. Cam's probably best point guard in the league, in my opinion.
He is.
And yeah, everyone else they're gonna be seasoned a little more. We got some good freshmen coming in, I know. And everyone else would be a lot closer. We didn't lose anybody. Oh, we lost one person. But other than that, we're gonna be all right. I think we're pretty good. Have a chance to come out.
What's their expectations? Like, are you guys? I mean, obviously, you want to set it high, but are you like, NCAA tournament, like top of the league, or
Me personally, I feel like we have a chance to make the tournament. And so I wouldn't be happy with anything less than that.
Yeah. Another question, kind of for both of you guys. I don't care who goes first, but so for high school, best player you faced. Kind of want to know who that is, and then as college in AAU, you can throw that in there too. But for each one, who's the best player you faced? It could be the same person, But
I'll go first. So we were going to start high school.
Yeah.
One of the best, probably one of the better high school players I ever played against, aside from this guy, would be like Charles Jones. He's tough. He was tough in high school. He went to Utah.
And he's from Oregon, right?
Yeah, he's from Portland. He was tough, bro. And who else in high school that was tough?
I'm trying to think who we played in AAU too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in college, the best college player I ever played against was Markel for sure.
Oh yeah, you guys played him in the summer league, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Markel is different.
Markel is different. Hey, I'm gonna tell you the story about the game real quick. We played the game. We're up at halftime. We're playing UW in summer league. We're up at halftime by like 3 or 4 or something, and I'm guarding Markel to start the second half, and they're walking over to the sideline. I'm walking over with him, and David Crisp and Matisse Stiebel are sitting right there, and they go, "Come on, bro, we need to see something." He looks at him. He's like, "Bro, relax." He gets a steal right off the inbounds, gets the steal, comes down windmill. Boom. Oh, he had a crazy that game. He was just different.
Yeah.
He's crazy. The way he moves so fast.
Yeah.
He doesn't he can get up court in like 3 dribbles and just his bounce is crazy. Silly.
Who's the high school for you?
High school? I don't know. Maybe Payton Pritchard, maybe. Or I played him in a couple camps.
I've seen him in high school. He was crazy.
He's nice now, obviously, but high school.
What about college, Zach?
In college, I played Markel in that summer league, but at Drexel, there's this. I don't know. There's this kid named Nathan Knight. He's nice. He's in our league. He was like one of the top big men in the nation.
What team is he at?
Played at William and Mary. He's good. There was a player last year. I didn't get to play last year, but I watched when we played him because they were in our league. He's in the league now, Justin Wright Foreman. That boy was a problem too.
Was that Hofstra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like second leading scorer in the nation, something like that. He was a bucket.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play him though because I was hurt, but I watched. I was seeing.
You would have locked him up? Is that what you said?
Nah, he's good.
Zach, if you got drafted by a team, what team would be ideal? What would be the best fit for you?
Best fit for me
Right now?
Nah, anywhere. I'd go anywhere.
I know, but like let's just say like dream scenario.
Shoot, probably in LA.
Lakers.
Or Miami, because I've always been a Heat fan of the younger because of Dwayne Wade. So when I was younger too, that's the thing. I want to live. I don't know why. I just always said that. So that'd be cool if I got drafted there.
You're gonna be out on the beach. You'd be
Don't let Doug go to Miami. It'll be a wrap for everybody.
you get a slick back like Pat Riley.
Yeah.
I'm really my dad if I went in there. What's up, Pop?
Peyton, you got any more questions? I'm all out.
No, I'm out, man.
All right, Zach, Ian, I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Hopefully, once this Corona is gone, we can all kick it.
Yeah.
Zach, hit me up if you're ever in Portland. Let's get in the gym.
Yep, easy. You're still coaching down there?
Yep, at my old college.
Yeah.
Stand up, Lucy Clark. Ready, roll
Let's
pie.
go, roll pie.
I got a question for you though.
He's got some questions.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Reverse.
Why? You like coaching girls basketball better than coaching guys basketball?
I don't like it like better, but I think it's a good fit for like my personality. Good question, Zach.
Yeah.
Hey, if basketball doesn't work out, you got a future in this.
Hey, I actually got a podcast to do too for my senior project. I'm about to make one.
Oh, dope.
Yeah,
Are you gonna do like interview type things?
Yeah, I gotta interview like 5 people here soon, so I'm gonna start getting on that.
Hit me up, man. Let me be your first.
So I need help anyway with that cutting it up and everything, you know. So.
What about you, Ian? You got a question for Peyton or what?
Oh, I got one for you, P. Mills.
Oh, man.
How's the jump been from, working Monday to Friday to 4 on 4 off?
Oh, 4 on 4 off a lot nicer, I'll tell you that. I mean, I work, 5 to 5 a.m. or whatever, but it's cool.
Like a guy like us, guys like us, bro, we're not working 12 hours straight.
Yeah, it's what's that?
You said it's easier though?
Yeah, it's cool because I get more time off with the family, and at this job I'm getting I'm working only half the year basically for more money than I was making before, so it's and then I'll be able to help out at Castle Rock. Hayden Tilton's been hitting me up, and obviously you've been hitting me up to come out there, and then so it frees me up a lot more. So the schedule is awesome. I'm pretty happy with it.
Love it.
All right, boys. We did it 1 hour. Joe Rogan in the books.
All right. Well, thanks for having us on here, man.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again. Run it back.
Yeah, let's run it back.
Sir.
With G in here too. We got some things to say.